Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 8 of On the Virtual Track. I've got Shawn Pulsifer with me this time around. There he is on the side of the screen, and we're going to dive in deep to find out all about Shawn and his journey within iRacing, and then basically anything else, juicy gossip we can find out in between that as well. Shawn, welcome in, bud. How are you?
I am fantastic, James. I'm great. Worn out. I had a long weekend.
Mate, I feel you on that one. I've had one of them weekends that's been flat manic since about last Wednesday evening. But yeah, no, I do feel you on that one. And thanks so much for standing in. Obviously, poor old Charles couldn't make this one. So you jumped in last minute to help me out on this as well. It's going to be very interesting having a chat with you, Sean, because I'm going to be very intrigued to see how you sort of ended up where you ended up. So how did this all start for you? Where did the racing and Shawn getting into his sim racing in general kick off then?
Oh, dude. I've been a racing fan my whole life, basically. Formula One specifically. I started watching in the '83 season, and it's just been every year since. I've known all the drivers, all the stats, all the cars, everything. And just I'm a poor kid from Canada, man. No money. I watched a lot of motorsports when I was young.
Yeah.
I really liked it. Um, Sim racing, like I always play. I played games. I just watched your last episode there where you were discussing like some of the old school Atari games, pole position, stuff like that. And I cut my teeth on all of those, but it was on a little controller, and you're steering with your body more than
Yeah.
anything else. So that was kind of where things started. But even early on, I was like, man, I just want to be in a cockpit. Like I just want to be doing 200 miles an hour down the straights in Monza, and it just always felt like playing it on a console or even on the computer was just always way too out of touch for me. So I never really got serious about it until I would say a few years ago when I started working. Well, I joined a karting club here in Calgary, Speeders, and they do electric kart racing. On the pro speed side, they're up to around 70 kilometers an hour on a very short track. So it is quite challenging to be really competitive that way. And it kind of started giving me that rush that I was looking for as far as formula racing goes, because it's open
Yeah.
wheel and it's just, yeah, it's great. It's great. And then a bunch of my buddies were like, "Oh, you should try simming," and we're all doing this sim racing thing. And I got one guy from my club who does ACC pretty competitively, runs his own league over there and everything. And so I joined. I joined his league. Um, but it's funny. It was a bit kismet at the time because I was just getting fired from a job that I'd been at doing graphic arts for like 4 or 5 years, and they gave me the boot out the door. And um
What did you do?
it was just downsizing. The whole, like, it was after COVID, and
Ah, okay.
they're offshoring everything, including their graphics, everything. So they just started laying us all off in mass. There were hundreds of us that all got laid off at the same time. But of course they give you that fuck off money, right? That real nice to 10 grand, or the, like,
Yeah.
if you just keep your stupid socialist mouth shut, you can have some money, right? So they gave me some go away money, and I bought a rig. Like I dove in so deep. Um, I spent almost every penny on my rig. Running a Simicube 2 Pro with a GSI wheel and Huskenveld sprints with a full ASR frame, a nice big ultra wide. I even went crazy and got the VR headset with the Oculus 3. And I don't know. I love VR racing because, man, it puts you right there. But it is,
Hmm.
for me, the fidelity's not there yet with it. Like, it feels too distracting when you're trying to focus on an actual race. So I definitely prefer playing it on the ultra wide. Yeah, I got in deep. My first rookie season in iRacing, I was constantly shooting for P1 in Canada in the F4 division, which I loved. It was great. Um, but I'm also not like, man, I'm getting old. Like I'm busted up, you know. Like, there's no pulling the wool over my eyes on this. So
Yeah.
pro career is about as far as it's going to go here. So nowadays, like I joined the IGP Fun League 2 seasons ago, at the beginning of last season, um, just as a total lark. Somebody was like, "Oh, you should come join," blah blah blah, and I was like, oh, "No, I'm rotten. Like, I mean, I'm just a menace out there. You guys are just going to regret ever inviting me to your field." Um, but the organizer, Luca Verani, has been amazing. He's been really encouraging about me staying in and hacking it out. I finished every race this year, which is good. No DNFs. That's the old man's goal, right? Keep her on the
Yeah.
keep her between the lines, and then just hope and pray. And so far, it's been working out pretty good. Confidence is going up as I get further in, and yeah, I'm enjoying every minute of it. It's awesome.
I think that's the thing. I think a lot of people, league racing is one of them things that at the end of the day, you've got to dive in deep with it. I think if you want
Yeah,
to be remotely competitive or at least ahead of the drivers around you, I literally just finished a broadcast where there was just like two drivers were battling constantly, and then two more were battling constantly, and then two more were battling. You always find somebody around you to go and fight with, and I
yeah,
think that's why it makes it really interesting and exciting to see. And then all of a sudden you'll make a switch and you'll move up to the next
next
person
level.
that
Yeah,
that you're battling with, and I think that's the thing for most people. But you know where did iRacing come into all of this then? Because you started off, as I said, ACC. How did iRacing join the Shawn equation?
yeah. It's really funny. Like so. Back when iRacing first released, I've always been an early access guy. I am such a hardcore gamer; it's not even remotely funny. I've got literally years of playtime in World of Warcraft. I've played everything. I used to beta test for all kinds of companies. I've got um, Easter eggs in several video games where I've beta tested. If you play Star Wars or Star Trek, the Star Trek MMO that came out quite a long time ago, I've got my own little like galaxy in there where they dedicated a bunch of places to some of the beta testers. Well, iRacing was one of those things. It was touted early on before it was even released as kind of like, this is a simulator. This is not a video game. This is a professional simulator, and it's going to have this and it's going to have that. And there were a lot of early promises when it came to iRacing as far as like realism went, right? And at the time, it was great. I mean, what else was out there that was really realistic or felt realistic at the time? And I couldn't really think of much.
No.
So I went out, I bought a cheap wheel. I signed up for the beta. I think I had a Logitech. Oh my God, I can't even remember. This thing was so old. It was in 2012, 2013 when they were running their original
Yeah.
beta for iRacing. And I signed up for the service. My account number is very, very low. So um,
What is your account number?
I'm a 100,000 and I think 100,009.
I
So
wonder who's holds number one.
the owner, the CEO has
Does he?
number one. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Well, that's answered my question.
Big rich prick. Anyway, yeah. Sorry, I cuss a lot. I hope that's not going to be a
No,
problem.
that's fine. I'm not worried about that. That's fine.
If you need
You
to
be
bleep
you.
me out, I'm really restraining myself, mate. Like you have no idea. I cuss like a sailor. It's terrible.
No, dude, I'm not fussed about it. At the end of the day, it is, and as I've said to anybody else who comes on, swear whenever you want. It's fine. It's not a problem. But I think going into the iRacing beta test, what would you say was the upside of the beta testing? Was there anything that you sat back and thought, Okay, I can get into this.
Honestly, right off the get-go, the level of innovation as far as the grip and the feel of the car rotation under braking and um, just the game and suspension mechanics when it first came out was sort of innovative. Like you had games like Need for Speed Porsche at the
Yeah,
time, which was like, it was fun to bomb around in and stuff, but it just always felt like an arcade game. Or did you ever play Daytona? Like Daytona, that stupid
mate.
arcade game,
Everybody played Daytona, didn't they?
right? Right. But how shitty did it feel? Like, did you ever once sit in a Daytona rig and think, "Man, this feels like I'm really in a NASCAR"? Like, never.
No, I think that's one side of gaming that you've never really felt that has been maximized as it probably could be. NASCAR itself, obviously, I can't say anything. I'm sat here in a NASCAR t-shirt. Um, you
I
know,
have opinions about oval racing. We won't talk about those either.
I think
Me
I've
and
got a
Shawn.
NASCAR t-shirt on underneath, to be honest. But there's never really been a NASCAR game that you can sit back and go, oh, actually,
Right?
this is pretty good. But I know there's one in development at the moment. I believe that Earnhardt Jr. I think has been involved with, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, is it NASCAR 25? I think it's called currently. Yeah, developed by iRacing, funny
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
So maybe that will sort of enhance that spirit. There's career modes, there's lots of other things that are going on with it. So I'm interested to see how they deal with that. For me,
I feel like iRacing has really figured out the formula for oval racing. It feels the most authentic to me from my experience in any other simulator or game. It feels like you get that rush of like when you're doing it right, it feels real, right?
yeah,
Like your wheels bouncing around, everything just feels much more real than most of the other stuff.
I think for me, the only, it's like anything, you wish there was a different system in place. But, the only thing for me is obviously, the pricks running you over and can't, can't lift, and do anything sensible.
Pylons, mate. I call them fucking.
Oh, mate.
They're terrible.
Yeah, it pisses you off because all of a sudden you're in Dago and you've drifted a little bit wide from the inside of one and somebody's just got bang. And
Yep.
you're like, dude, can you not lift? And they go, don't lift on a super speedway. You're like,
Lifting's for pussies. We don't lift
yeah,
here. Like,
why?
are you kidding me?
Yeah, why lift? Like, you just stuck me in the wall to the right hand side, and I've got
Yeah.
them smacked about 5 people, and everybody's going, "Oh, what's an Englishman driving NASCAR for?" And I'm like, "Why is an American not even learning how to lift?" You know what I mean? Come on, Jesus Christ already! And
Yeah,
and
it's all balls. It's all balls to the wall every lap, and um,
dude,
it drives me
it
crazy. The lack
it
of
frustrates me. I love trucks. Like I would drive trucks all day, but there's just so many idiots in that area that you sit back and think, I don't want to. Like if I've done, like a Sunday, for instance, for me, I'm doing like Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, Sunday to Monday morning, and then the last thing I want to do is get on and get wrecked by
get
some absolute goon.
absolutely tail punted, or you're in a race. This is the problem I have is because I'm a bit on the mad side, and so my I rating never really gets to a point where I'm like consistently in top splits competing against guys that I compete with in the league because they're beasts in what they do. But yeah, I'm constantly floating from the uppers to the lowers, and I find if I get dropped into a lower split, my chances of coming out of that split with less SA and less I rating is way higher than if I'm in a higher split where the guys drive a bit safer, have a little bit more sense of what they're doing, and have a bit more like competition in mind. So they're trying to be a little safer, at least you think. But the lower splits are just murder. Like you've got assassins running around, just
Oh no,
absolutely
dude!
fucking T-boning people for shits and giggles, and you're like, why are you ruining my fucking day for no reason, you asshole?
yeah, I think that,
Mhm.
mate, it is insane. But the problem is you the SRIR balance is always one that I find very interesting because it's a roundabout. You
It's
go
a
for IR to go and win, but you're losing SR at a rapid rate of knots because there's always some prick that wants to go and take you out. You
always.
go for SR, and then your IR just comes down like an absolute plummet
Yep.
because you can't get one without the other. There's no
You
middle
have to be,
circle.
yeah, you have to be clean and competitive always in order to rise through the ranks. And the only
Yeah.
way to get your SR above, or your I rating above 2000 consistently, is to make sure you are always competing in the top 10 or 15 in every top split you can find.
I think that for me is you get to, like, when before I got into the wonderful world of comms, and I used to drive in officials, and I got up to 1800 IR in road. I'm nowhere near that now. I'm not even going to bother. But you know, for me, it was that 1800 to 2.5K where all of a sudden there was a 30 grid filled with Max Verstappens
Yep. Oh,
who,
aliens just crawl out of the woodwork when
yeah,
you
and
start
then
getting
you go
high.
and avoid the man in the Red Bull livery because you goddamn bloody know that guy was going to take somebody out.
Yeah.
And,
Oh,
and he's always the person at the beginning that goes, "Good luck, everyone." You're like, "Fuck me, you're dead." Fuck it. I'm right next to him. I'm screwed. That is
yeah.
it. I'm bollocks. And you find them in trucks, you find them in Xfinity, you find them in Cup, and that's it. I stay away from road racing. You know what I mean? Dude, I drive in circles. When I do actually bother to take part in a race that I can actually be bothered to go and look at. And I'm looking at trucks this week, and I'm looking at Dover, and I'm thinking, fuck that.
Through that.
I am not surviving Dover. I
Oh,
can
dude, that
guarantee it.
there's coming up on IGP. Believe me, that's for
Oh, bro, I think
Formula
that
Light is a nightmare because it's a wing clipper at the top of the hill at the best of times. So
yeah,
the
I
public races are even worse. Like, oh my god, they're terrible,
dude,
terrible.
I'd say I don't drive. I think if this NASCAR come out, and it's any good, I probably would put some time into it and get it and see how it goes. But other than that, I don't want to spend my day commentating on a simulator or a game, whatever way you call it, and then go and bloody drive at Dover and get absolutely smashed to buggery in a truck. You know what I mean, dude? For me, that ain't a turn on. You know what I mean? That's just
No,
like no. I've had enough of that. Leave me alone. And piss off. I can't be bothered to deal with Dover this week as well. However, I've just looked at Xfinity. They're at Dega. Couldn't think of couldn't think of anything worse that's going to happen there. You can't see that going right in any shape or form. Draft Masters is
no,
at
even on a
Dega
good
as
day,
well.
it doesn't go right. So yeah,
May it doesn't, and I think that's the thing. I'm going to be, realistic about it. I'm never going to complete my truck participation $10 thing for a season because I look at tracks and go, no,
no,
thank you very
can't do
much.
that. No.
No, no, can't be dealing with that one. You know what I mean? But have you done real world racing apart from obviously your karting situation?
Apart from karting, no. So again, poor kid, man. Like my parents didn't even own automobiles growing up. I Until I was in my 30s, I bussed everywhere. So even I didn't start physically driving an automobile until, holy crap, I was in my 30s when I got a license. So I've always just been a city kid who can, get around here and there.
Yeah.
Public transit easy enough. Um, and even when I moved around, I was always in places where I was either hitching a ride or taking cabs or whatever. I don't know where do you live in London or
No, dude, I used to.
yeah.
I grew up in London, and
You know what the rat race is like in London, where you're trying to get around all the time. Is you don't own cars, you just
no, it's easier, I think, up there because there's so often you get a bus to the tube station or the train station,
yeah,
jump on the train and shoot straight into the middle of London. Quick and
yeah.
easy. done and dusted. Where I am now, unfortunately, I've got more sheep than I have human beings.
Oh, that's where I'm going. That's where I'm
Mate,
going.
mate, and we've got literally one bus every 2 hours. And
Nice.
if you
Okay.
and if you miss that bus, you're fucked for the next 2 hours. You know what I mean? If you're if you're late for work on that bus journey, you're going to be at least 3 hours late because you fucking missed the bus. It's as easy as that. You know what I mean? So a car where I am at the moment is
It's a
essential.
necessity. Yeah, I get that. I get
It's
that.
if your car breaks, fuck it. I'm just lucky I work from home. That's my job, because if my car breaks, I can just walk downstairs. And same with the wife. If the car breaks, she can walk off up to work and is quite happy. And the kids go to school in and around where we are, so
Yeah, so
that's
we
fine.
actually, my whole family is in the middle of getting ready for a great migration as well. Like we're packing up and selling our house here in the city in Calgary, and we're moving like 2,000 kilometers to the east coast of Canada to Nova Scotia. Plan is to buy a little farm on top of a hill and just do our thing. You know, it's
So I got to pick up on something then, right?
yeah.
Why I'm here, I'm going to dive a little bit deep here, because you've said things to me that I find quite fascinating,
The
because
Ogo pool is very deep, my friend. Dive as deep as you feel like.
you've gone from poor kid growing up to not having a pot to piss in,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you own a house and you're selling a house.
My wife is
Where did this gap fill in here? You know, not a pot to piss in, don't drive until you're 30, and then all of a sudden we've got a house we're selling and we're fucking off to Nova Scotia. How did that gap
yeah.
fill?
Yeah, it's a bit of a leap of faith there to believe. But I mean, I'm a bit lucky. My significant other, my wife, is absolutely amazing. She's a genius. She works for the company I used to work for, the ones that shit canned me and gave me my fuck off money when I bought my rig with. She still works for them, and she's very successful, and she makes enough money for us to live a little comfortably, not terribly so. But we invested in this house, oh god, 10 years ago now. We've been living here almost 10 years.
Mm.
um, and we've just been working and paying and working and paying. I've This is the first time really in years that I've not had like a corporate job or somebody like paying me like work. It's weird working for yourself, you know, and trying
So,
to
what do
make
you
things
do
go
then?
that.
What do you do now?
What do I do now? Right
Because
now, I'm
you,
just
because obviously you work from home,
yeah,
you're self-employed.
yeah.
So what do you do? What does Shawn do?
Shawn, right at the moment is doing finishing construction work on his own house to get ready to sell it. Over the weekend, I just finished tiling my entire kitchen. Painted my outside of the house last week. Rebuilt the deck. So right now, I'm doing a lot of handyman stuff around my house to get it ready to sell. Officially, I'm um, basically just making every attempt to prep my home for sale. So I don't do anything for money right now. My wife really does all of the heavy lifting there. I do all of the literal heavy lifting around the house, getting it all ready, doing all the renovation. We're completely renovating the place before we leave. So, and I'm handling that job solo. So it's been a task. But yeah, I mean, otherwise, I'm just a jack of all trades. I do whatever I can, whenever I can, if I need money. Um, and I've always done that since I was a kid. Like, I remember living in Calgary as a kid. Um, you'd get, minus 50, minus 40 in the middle of winter and 2 feet of snow. And me and my little brother and our friends would be out there with shovels, going door to door. Hey, can we shovel your walk? Can we do this? Give us a couple bucks here, a couple bucks there. We were always like, entrepreneurs when we were young. So I've never really had a problem kind of going out and needing when I needed to earn money, just earn money. But I'm 48 now, and as you get older, you kind of just think like, where's my money coming from? Like, who's paying me? And so after a while, I just I got disenfranchised completely with the modern day rat race of here's your 9 to 5, here's your job, here's your this, here's your title, and go be a happy drone. So I don't like to do that kind of shit. I've never had a lot of real success in a
Mm,
career because I don't really tolerate that kind of shit. So yeah, I mean, I'm just better off on my own, doing my own thing for the most part, and that's what I'm doing now. Once we move, well, we've like I said, we've got a lot of asset here. So once we've gotten rid of it, we'll it's much cheaper where we're moving as well. So we're moving from a very like um, desired location in a major city to butt fuck nowhere in the middle of the country, and we are super excited about that. I'm sorry about the spit take there, man. Almost got you. So close.
that's all right. I don't
Yeah,
mind.
I'll get you
Honestly, it's
next
fine.
time. Yeah,
Thanks, mate. Just as I literally had a drink of a drink.
yeah.
Um,
I didn't aim for that.
I just
I am a bit of a dick.
I just find it interesting that you know the opinionated makeup of a modern household is in the old days it was very much man goes to work, earns the money, woman does woman things, right?
Oh, dude, I'm a total it. When it comes to like identity and things, that's another thing. Like, I know I don't, a lot of people get a little weird about it, but I've got like my whole family's queer. My kids are queer. I'm queer. My wife is queer. My mom's queer. Like everybody, and we have a different kind of mindset when it comes to how our household works, and how our roles work and what they mean. And it's to me, it's all kind of bullshit. Like you do what you got to do, and you don't put a label on it. You get the shit done, and then you just keep moving on with your life. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how life should roll, instead of like,
I
here's how
think
your day's
that's the
gonna go,
thing.
bud.
You know, both me and my wife do the cooking. I'll say I'll do the cleaning, and she'll say I clean, but I don't do it her way. So
Yeah,
and
that's just a
then
man
she has to come,
problem.
and apparently she has to come and clean in behind me, and things like that. And I think that's the makeup. You know, she works, I work, we both earn. You know, the only ever time it gets to a male female prerogative is if I've taken my son to the fucking drag strip and I'm dealing with my boy and the bike and getting everything fucking prepped, and she's in the caravan cooking,
Yeah,
cleaning. And that's about the only time it becomes a man woman scenario, partly because,
the
you
thing with us
know,
as well. I mean, we go camping or caravanning, as you say, and I mean, my wife is an amazing cook. Like amazing. She should be on a TV show or working in a restaurant or something. She is just amazing. So I eat extremely well, which is great. And she loves to cook, so she just does a lot of it. There isn't really a gender role issue. It's more of a, she just really enjoys it. She's really good at it, so she does it. I enjoy race driving. I'm not great at it, but I'm okay at it, and so this is what I do. I've got 3 kids, all in their teens, their late teens, and you know, my eldest isn't into the same kind of stuff. My youngest, he plays a lot of American Truck Simulator when he's on the rig. My other kid, he flies jets and planes in DCS
flight
world.
sims
So
and stuff like that.
yeah, and it's just
Yeah.
insane stuff that I mean, yeah, they're all really into it, and like I said, it's not really role based. We just live our lives as best we can, and take care of each other, man. You
Yeah,
gotta,
I
you
think
gotta
that's the thing, and we've been, me and my wife been together now 18 years.
Whoa, the long haul, brother, the long haul. No
I
wonder
think,
you got so many grays in your beard, my friend.
mate, dude, I shave it off, I come out looking fucking like Santa. But this is the thing, and people say to me, she goes, if you're married, why has she not got your name? And I turn around and go, because we're not fucking married, but she's practically my fucking wife.
Yep.
We've been together so long, we label each other wife and husband. And we got asked, actually, funny enough, over the fucking weekend, why are you not getting married? And my wife's just like, fuck that, it's a bit of paper. I don't need it.
Oh, yeah.
Mate, we don't need to have anything to signify or
Oh, dude,
object,
I'm a
objectify each other.
hedonist. I get you. I get
Me,
you. Me and my
you know,
wife aren't technically married either.
yeah, and that's the thing. And then it was only when our friend turned around and went, if you go down to a library, funny enough, a fucking library, you can get
Yep.
married in a library surrounded by books for like 200 quid or whatever. And I'm like, I'm going to ring them up on Wednesday because she don't want a big wedding. I don't fucking care too much, whatever. And, we're just going to get two witnesses in bish, bash, bosh and probably fucking done by the end of the week. But
Well, not
it,
to put in a plug here, bud, but I am a certified minister for the Universal Life Church. So I could actually technically marry you for free over the internet if you really want to. In my Habs jersey and everything.
Mate, we said that the other day. Actually, we were talking on the way back from fucking the drag strip we were at, and we were saying like, "Fuck it, we get married in a library. We just want to rock up in what we fucking got on. Look,
Uh,
get it done, and fuck us off. That will do for us. We don't need anything fucking fancy and bullshit all that." So, but I find that quite interesting that there's still couples out there that aren't gender specific based on shit and I have to do this and he has to do that and whatever. Don't get me wrong, you've got the fucking male role where I'll take the rubbish out partly due to the fact that the wife's been pestering me for a fucking week to do it.
clean
And
up the shit because
no, nope, don't do that.
no.
My reflex, Sean, is fucking like I could never be a fucking deep throat because it just wouldn't happen. You know what I mean? But
I'm a
I,
trooper.
I, I find it interesting that there's still people out there across it that has this fucking thing where it's like, whatever, we'll do it. You know what I mean? We'll all do it. As I say, but the only thing we've got specifically is she won't mess around with the fucking drag bike, and I don't mess around Wyatt that weekend in the fucking caravan. That's about the only time we're gender specific on
Other
that.
than
Other
that,
than that,
everything else is fair game in the relationship, eh?
mate, I cook, fucking wash and whatever,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's all that. But
I don't
that's
get
it.
back to like, oh, I don't do my laundry. The wife does the laundry. Oh, I don't do this. The wife does that. I don't like. I mean, that just doesn't happen around my house. I mean, my wife definitely wears the pants, so I pretty much just do what she asks anyway. Like, I don't think it's really a gender role thing. It's more of a
Hey,
why
babe, can you go and
thing.
take the fucking rubbish out? You know what I mean? Again, I do like the fact though that when they ask, we turn around and go, "Yeah, give us 2 minutes," and you
Mm.
fucking know that doesn't mean she wants you to do it in 2 minutes. It's a
No,
fucking now. Get off your bum and take the fucking rubbish out. You know what I mean? I'm not stupid. I'm old, mate. I'm 46. I've been around the block. I get it as well. So where would if
my wife's got that resting bitch face. So you look at her and she says, "Do it now." And if you say, "Yeah, honey," in a few minutes, and she gives you that look, like, and you're like, "Oh, no, she really means now. Otherwise, we're
yeah,
gonna get in a fight, and this is gonna
yeah.
turn into a row." And okay, it's just better to go do the thing.
Absolutely, I
Yeah.
fucking fully agree with you as well. You know what I mean? Where does Shawn's then sort of, if you're moving and everything else, are you going to have time for rig racing? Are you going to be milking the old cows out on the farm? What's the plan for, say for instance, for the next 5 years, give or take, for you?
Oh, dude, the 5-year plan is extensive. My brothers, two of my brothers, already live in Nova Scotia, and so when I get down there, the thought process is to start with something that is sort of easy to roll into cash. So we're just going to be selling firewood. I got 166 acres of mixed hardwood softwood forest. Um, I'm sort of used to being out in nature and doing things anyway. I hunt, I fish, um, you
Hold
know,
on, so you're a sim racer that goes outside?
oh yeah, brother. Oh yeah, I am
Okay.
so excited. So excited. I am. I am. I actually do not have a vitamin D deficiency. I bet you guys are all
Oh,
jealous.
okay. I'm just checking. You're not there on your keyboard all day.
No, no. It's actually as I get older, the sitting behind the keyboard and spending so much time. Like, I've got pretty bad arthritis in my hands just because I've been typing since I was 6 years old, and it's never stopped ever. So my wrists are kind of shot, my hands are shot. I played a little footy in high school and university, and I played a lot of tennis as well. So my knees are shot, my elbows are shot. But honestly, it's weird. It's weird. The sim racing has really gotten me in shape. I spent a lot of time before I bought my rig. I was, I was really out of shape, and then I started getting competitive on the short track racing for karting. You could feel my neck right away. It was always sore from the this and that, and um, so I kind of dropped everything. I spent all my time working out. I lost a shitload of weight, and then I gained it all back in muscle. And now I'm feeling like healthy. Like I'm as fit as I've been in my entire life, which is saying a lot um, at my age. But really, like the impetus for the move to the farm and to do this is one, I want to keep being healthy and I want to keep being fit. And this kind of job will definitely do that for me. It's outdoors, it's healthy, you're working in nature all the time. But I also don't have, I don't have any kind of like workout gear. So I'm not pushing weights all day long or going to the gym or doing this to stay in shape and stay competitive or whatever. I just work. I just work out at home. I do regular home things, farm things, you know. Um, so I feel like they both really mesh well. And once we're down there, I'll have the rig set up in its own kind of little man cave facility and that kind of thing. I've been doing construction and building my whole life, so I'm rarely comfortable taking a raw material and turning it into a thing. So yeah, that's mostly what we'll be doing down there is building, construction, and racing our asses off because we'll have a lot of free time.
No, that's fair enough, mate. If that works, it works. Now, obviously,
We posted.
mate, you're probably doing something that not a lot of people will get to do, and that's probably live out the fact of your dream and not tied to the man as much. You know what I mean? I think that's the
I
thing.
need to get out, dude. The shit's getting too scary. Like, have you seen our neighbor to the south? They're kind of pricks.
Mate, have you seen
Kind of pricks right now.
seen the
I'm
man that
trying to
runs
give
our
him
country?
time.
Have you seen the man that runs our country?
Oh, yeah.
He's an utter prick, and that's the thing for us. But moving on away from the fucking politics situation before we go
Oh, yeah.
down
I
that
guess
rabbit
that
hole,
could be dangerous,
mate,
motherfucker.
let's just stay away from that one as well. But
Yeah, I mean, we got to do this Talladega thing soon, and we don't want the American audience being all about
we'll be all right. I think there's a lot of people that know me in general and know that my mouth don't shut up at the best of times. So if you don't like it, drop me a fucking DM, and will I
Yeah,
respond?
exactly.
Probably
Exactly.
not. But well, what would you like to see if they come to you and said, "Right, Shawn, you've got one car, one track to put in iRacing"? What would it be?
One car, one track in iRacing. Sebastian Vettel's 2011 Formula One car on. Oh my God. Any track, eh? Fuck. I gotta go.
So that would be the RB7.
That would be the RB7. I believe he called it Kinky Carly, and I believe it would be running on Canada because National Pride Boys. And the
Montreal.
World Champion scares the shit out of me, man. It makes me squirt every time I go around. So fuck it, let's rock it. And that car was a rocket ship. It's just an absolute blast machine. I love it. Love that car.
So that one.
Yeah, you got her, brother.
So the RB7 of Montreal.
RB7 Montreal all day long.
Why Montreal?
Why Montreal?
Yeah, and don't give me the whole
It's
Canadian homeland bullshit. Why Montreal?
Honestly, the challenge of the track is insane. It is a driver's track. It is a real challenge of a track. None of these, oh, if you can drive 200 and do a hairpin, you can get around in Abu Dhabi. It's a brutal driver's track. It puts you through your paces. It's got everything you want. High speed corners, tricky chicanes, close walls, runoffs. I mean, it's an incredible track. I love my home track. Otherwise, it would be Japan.
Suzuka.
Yeah.
Okay. The car, I get the car. I do understand the car, but Suzuka and Montreal.
Yeah, that one throws you,
No,
hey? They're two of my favorite laps.
I don't know, bro. I'm an Interlagos fan. I love fucking Interlagos, and I would look at going there or somewhere as well and putting it round that.
Interlagos is fantastic. Yeah, it's
Love
the Supers
Interlagos,
are
dude.
great. The Sennas are great. Like yeah, it's an amazing track. It definitely keeps you on your toes for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And this has always been the question for me a lot of times over the last 8 episodes, that there's been many different cars. You know, we've had the Pikes Peak mountain climbing car. We've had I can't even remember some of the other ones that we've had as well. And
Yeah.
we had a GT. I think it was a GT1 last week or the week before with Stacey. I honestly cannot remember. But is Formula One your bread and butter? Would you watch Formula One over Cup Series at Dega?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm so deep into Formula One. Honestly, I've been. I was an early adopter of F1 TV. I've been involved really in every single season in some way, shape, or form. Um,
Well, even through the boring years.
Everything, man. Everything. I saw the Schumacher years. I saw the Lewis years. I saw the Seb years. I saw the fucking Ayrton years. I saw all of them. I've seen them all. And honestly, um, yeah, now Formula One is definitely my bread and butter. It's the pinnacle. It's the pinnacle of race sports, folks. The pinnacle, the peak. You can't get any better. You can't get any faster. You can't get any harder. You can't get any more challenging than Formula One. Although I will say, World Endurance Championship has got a special place in my heart because I am a massive Kamui Kobayashi fan. And when he went over to WEC and just started dominating, that's the other thing. You can't even deny that Formula One is the greatest because they leave Formula One and they go into inferior sports and they just destroy people. I mean, we can talk about this all day long, brother. All day long.
Bro, it's fine. I don't really care. But the only thing I have got to do is disagree on. It's not. When you go to, for instance, we go to a cup car and we look at the steering wheel and we've got a black thing and we might have 2 or 3 buttons. Right? That's about it. They're driving the fucking car. We go to an F1 wheel and there's 57 buttons and we've got the machine in the pit lane playing Happy Birthday that could get tuned to the actual track, and then the driver hasn't got to do jack.
I mean, they could watch Netflix on the screen if they wanted to.
Bro, it's got two fucking electronic. It's not Ayrton Senna hurtling around Monaco having to drop his hands down, keep the car in 4th gear because he hasn't got any other gears because it's all fucked. It's too
anyway, so who cares?
Yeah, the racing's crap, but the corners are great. But you know, it's not racing anymore. It's all it's all electronics, and that's why I think I'd rather watch cup cars at Dega or I'd rather watch trucks at Dega because it's just not fucking racing in a machine that's got more electronics than my house and more buttons on the steering wheel than my fucking dishwasher. It's ridiculous.
At some point, Formula One became more about technical innovation and less about the racing. And I understand, like, I grew up in the 80s. Believe me, I heard the V12s roaring around those tracks for years and years and years and years and years. And then the noise levels came down and down and down and down over the years. And then when they started the V6 era with the hybrids, I was like, this is shit. I mean, I can actually hear people talking at the side of the track, which is bullshit. Like, those motors should drown out everything. Everything. I want to hear roaring coming from the cars, and you don't get that anymore. You really don't. You get high-pitched whines.
And that's why I find it hard to agree with people who turn around. Yeah, who go around and say it's the pinnacle. It's not the pinnacle because they're not doing anything. They might be driving and they might be twiddling a button because the radio man said, right, we've got to go to 4XKP221 or whatever, fucking multiple 21, which basically mean fucking Weber, get out the way, let Vettel through. You know, and that's about it. It's
11 said, multi 11.
yeah, whatever, multi 21, whatever. But it's not racing. It's and that's why I find cup trucks, Xfinity, for me a lot more racing because you're hurtling around 200 miles an hour plus at Dega or Daytona. You're
Yeah.
wheel to wall. At one point last season, I think they were almost 3 and 4 wide, keeping it in things, and that's why I find it more enjoyable than watching Max run out in front, piss away, and do nothing else.
Yeah, yeah. And you get a scrap or two here and there from somebody else in the back.
And that's the thing, and that's where I end up doing the whole analogy of Formula One becomes in certain races when I'm commentating as an analogy, because you go, it's got very exciting for the first 10 laps, then you eat your Sunday dinner, you piss off to sleep like a bear, and you wake up on the final 5, because that's where it might be exciting, where I find NASCAR
to my wife's Formula One Sunday tradition. She wakes up, she watches the first few laps, she passes out immediately.
Yep.
And then she wakes up the last 5 or 6, and she goes, "How did we do?"
Yeah, mate, that's about it. I think that's the thing, and where I can watch a NASCAR race all day and enjoy it all the way through, because there's so much generally happening. But I don't know, is it the pinnacle? No, fuck off. Get rid of the electronics. Get rid of all the bullshit that makes them literally drive for themselves. Give them a steering wheel. Give them a 4-gear speed box on their hands, and they got to take off the wheel.
You'd never get the speeds and the downforce we get now, right? So was
there a massive difference between the center speed to what you got to the max speed?
No, but there was a major difference in grip.
Grip and safety, I get. Grip and safety, I get all day. Safety, big issue. I understand that. And without the fucking halo that saved Grosjean going through the wall, the barrier and
don't get me started on gross jeans. Oh, I hate that man so much.
Well, dude, I understand that, and the safety side of things, the racing for me, nah, fuck off. I can. People say to me, "Have you watched Formula One?" And I can give or take it. I go on YouTube and watch their 7-minute highlight video, and I go, "Oh, 7 minutes. Fuck all happened in this one then."
That's perfect. I can watch a whole race in 7 minutes. I know. I watch a 20-minute race replay that they release every once in a while, and I'm just like, yeah, it's good enough. But I'm also, like I said, I'm just so hardcore into the series that I run the fantasy league, and I'm doing this and doing that. The IGP league, by the way, just for bragging rights for anybody out there watching, top guy right here. That's right, leading the points. Suck it, suckers.
You're leading the points in what? The fantasy league?
Fantasy league, yeah. And
okay.
A little bit, mate, by a fucking lot. Like these guys.
Oh, okay. Because I thought we were talking about the championship standings, and I was like, hold on a minute. You ain't fucking catching Tony Jimenez this year. No, nobody's catching fucking Tony Jimenez the way he's going. I got to be honest. Tony is looking...
He's a bro,
he's looking good. I will say you're in the top 25, though.
I am, and I think that's just consistency, right? Like just finishing race, finish the race. Oh, yeah. So that's been good. Like I really do enjoy racing with these guys, but they are brutal. They're so fast.
And it's going to be Tony's year, I think, on it as well.
Ridgeway bandwagon, hey. So now me and Scott are running under the Ridgeway group and loving it.
You got the Ridgeway racing livery.
I modified my Crow livery to add some Ridgewayness to it. So I've got the little alien guy or the little astronaut on my car now. But yeah, it's good. I feel a lot more confident, really, actually, just running his setups. They're amazing.
He is good.
Engineer. I fucking suck at any kind of setup. I'm like,
oh, bro,
4 liters of fuel, and then I get the little red line that says, "No, your car's too fucking fat." trim it up, and I'm like, how do I do that? So I just start messing with shit until it all turns green, and then I wish for the best. So
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I don't know. Just give me somebody chop me a setup. That would do. I'm fucking happy. I'll drive all day. I don't care what it does on that one.
me too, me
As
too.
well. But dude, listen, it's been great having a chat with you there as well. Thanks so much. Quickest 50 minutes, I think, of my life. It's been absolutely amazing.
I know
So,
she goes quick, hey.
oh mate, it always goes fast when you're having fun, dude.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's be real.
exactly.
And I'm sure we could.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure we could talk all day, but that's going to wrap up episode here 8 as well with Shawn. It'll be on Spotify later on with the video, and it goes live on YouTube on the JBB YouTube channel next Tuesday, which officially is, I have no fucking idea because I can't remember the date, it's the 29th. So that will go live on the 29th as well. While that is live, we will be speaking to David Anders from Tail Racing. That's going to be an epic conversation as well. I've been looking forward to that one. That one with Shawn. Pleasure, as always. Thank you very much, my man. And for now, guys, and as always, take care, and we'll see you on the next one. Good night.